Hey, this is Aaron Shaw with another edition of Coach's Corner. This is our weekly newsletter on some tips and tricks to help you stay as healthy and active as possible. And today, I'm going to bust a myth. So, lightweight, we got 10 pounds and 35 pounds. So if you were going to think which one is going to make me bulky and which one is going to make me tone, which weight would I pick for which one? So of course, most people would say, this is going to tone me up and the heavier weight is going to make me bulky. And sorry to say, that's not true. So the research shows that when exercising to fatigue, whether with a heavier weight or a lighter weight, they both create the same physiological response as far as size goes, as far as bulking up, if you will. Hormonal release through challenging the muscle to fatigue, same things happen. What is different between lifting with heavier weights versus lighter weights, the difference is strength. So to be able to, this is going to be pretty obvious, but in order to be able to literally be stronger, push more, pull more, feel more confident when you're reaching stuff overhead, all these things that really, in my mind, help give us resilience, kind of some stamina, you have to have higher resistance. Now, with that higher resistance does not mean actually gain that sort of bodybuilding idea that you're a bodybuilder. And I've actually had some clients, when I talk to them about what their goals are and what their fitness goals are, sometimes they say, I want to exercise, I want to do stuff. So I start talking about strength training, and some actually will say, well, wait, I don't want to be big and bulky. And so I'm happy to inform them that the chances of them becoming big and bulky is very, very small. So in order for you to actually, or for a bodybuilder, if you imagine a bodybuilder, in order for that bulk, that size, that hulkiness from strength training, what they do, and this is taking any sort of anabolic steroids out of the equation or growth hormone, but in order to really gain bulk, you have to have a surplus of calories. So you have to have far more calories than you would normally burn in day-to-day activity, plus be doing intense strength training. And really training specifically for hypertrophy. But the chances of that happening in us mortals doing basic strength training that's not going to happen. I mean, it's actually quite the opposite, that it takes a tremendous amount of effort to actually gain size. So the punchline is this: lighter weights, more repetition; heavier weight, fewer repetition. The muscles are going to look the same. The difference is the heavier weights are going to give you more strength. That's the difference. The lighter weights are going to give you less strength. But looking in the mirror, it's going to look the exact same. So the question to ask yourself is, what is your purpose of exercising? So if you think, well, I just want to look good in the mirror, I want to burn some calories, and it makes me burn off some stress, then that's fine. You can do lighter resistance, but if you do that lighter resistance and you want to have any effect at all, you have to lift that until your muscle is tired, pooped out. And so, doing a 10-pound movement versus doing a 15 or 20 or 25-pound movement, you may just need to do many more repetitions with something to get to that same level of fatigue as with a heavier weight, where you only need to do 6 or 7 repetitions to get that same level of fatigue. To put the last little point on this is that sometimes people will take a lightweight, and either they're in a class or we kind of get this stuck in our head that everything has to be 3 sets of 10 repetitions for whatever reason. And people will do something 10 times, set the weight down, and if I were to ask, how hard was that? Are you tired? Well, the answer is no, that wasn't too bad. Well, if it's not too bad, if there's no real fatigue from doing that exercise with that resistance, you've pretty much done nothing. You've done nothing to stimulate your body to do anything at all. So if you're going to lift lighter weights, And if you want to get the most out of them, you probably want to exercise until there's fatigue in the muscle. That's what's going to get you some physiological changes in that muscle. But again, it's going to mean a lot more repetitions. If you want to gain strength, not bulk, but just strength, then up the resistance and expect to do far fewer repetitions. So the myth busted is this: heavier weights versus for bulking up and lighter weights for tone. Not true. So if you have any questions about if you want to really get into the nitty gritty of the science of it, I would love to talk to you about it. This is fun stuff for me to talk about. So if you have any questions about bulking up, about fitness in general, gaining size, losing size, performance, transitioning from lifting weights and moving your body to actually sports performance, you know where to find us. And until then, get in your workouts, eat well, sleep well, and be safe.